my name is Jennifer and welcome to part 1 of the Asylum challenge. In this part, we're going to meet the patients as well as our only controllable sim, who is Emily right here. And Emily has been committed to a rundown mental health facility against her will. She has to prove that she's fit to rejoin society to earn her freedom, and so to do that, she needs to achieve the goals her psychiatrist has set for her. And that is her aspiration, except for because we're on the medium mode, that means 3 aspirations. Now, there is a catch. She needs to achieve her goals as quickly as possible while keeping 7 other patients who are here and we will meet, who don't know and are out of my control or her control, alive and as happy as possible. And there's been budget cutbacks, so there's a lack of decent furniture and limited supplies, so she has a very difficult task. Now, this comes from the Asylum challenge, which is on the forums, and I will put a link in the description below. And I am going to be doing the medium setup, which is that we start with 500 simoleons. So you'll see I still have the money, so I need to go in and do the cheat to get rid of that. And as I said, I have to complete 3 aspirations and then I'm free. Now, I'm going to add to that I have actually set the aspirations she needs to complete. And I love switching aspirations, so she'll probably be working on more aspirations than that, but she needs to actually complete the 3 that I set up front for her to complete it, the goals. And if she completes the other ones, well, it's great, she gets the points, but she's not actually going to contribute to the 3 she needs to complete to get out of the asylum. So the 3 that I'm setting out to do are the 2 food ones, which I think I mentioned in the intro. So the mixologist and the chef one, as well as the painter extraordinaire, which is one she has right away. She is on the painter extraordinaire. And the house, since it's run down, or the asylum, since it's run down, it only has 5 beds for the 8 patients here, 6 chairs of any form, and 5 skill building objects. So the stove, and we can have bookcases and mirrors, and they don't count as a skill building item. So we do have a stove and a couple of mirrors and a bookcase, 1 bookcase. And because we're on the medium mode, I had to choose between a computer and a TV, which was a tough one, but I chose the computer because you can do stuff with it, but it's just only one sim can use it at one time. And if you want to take a look at the speed build, I have that up. I put that up last week, so you can see me building the house, and as you can see, it is very run down. I have put these dead bushes out here that come from the vampire pack, and they have like the cheapest love seats. So we have 2 love seats, so that's 4 of the seats I'm allowed in the game. And then we have 2 seats here at the island counters where I have put the computer, so that they have the ability to multi-purpose those stools, because I needed the 2 stools for the food, the mixologist aspiration. And then this is the cheapest stove and cheapest fridge that came with City Living. And we are allowed to upgrade the items in the house to get better, either upgrade them through handiness or through earning money, which she'll have to do, and upgrade the items. But we aren't allowed to increase the number of seats or the number of beds. And then I chose this for entertainment purposes, and also it will autoplay. And then I have an easel, and I have the woodworking bench so that if she needs to make anything, and also help her work on her handiness skill. And the other thing that there's only 1 of is there's 1 shower in there, because we're only allowed 1 shower bath. I chose a shower. It is the cheapest shower because that's what you have to do, and 1 toilet in there. And then my last skill building object I thought would be something that everybody could use together, and I opted for the basketball net that came with City Living. I did think about using something for logic, but to get the logic aspiration, you have to have a rocket ship, the one that's only logic. So I just decided I would go with this. There's so many different ways to do this challenge, but that was just what I thought I would do for me. We'll also do some gardening and fishing, but the fishing aspiration, I find catching the 20 fish can be difficult, particularly because you have to go to Sylvan Glade and there's no toilets there, so your sims that you can't control are more likely to pee themselves, which can cause death by embarrassment or mortification specifically. But some of the inmates are already, or patients already out here. We have 2. going out to do the basketball. So let me take a look. So as I said, so this is Emily, and her traits are, let me just check here. She is creative. All the patients have the insane trait, and she is a perfectionist. So it's going to take her longer to get things done. They are supposed to be better quality because of that, but it will take her longer. So it'll be a bit harder to earn money on things because it'll take more time. And she's a muser from choosing the creativity aspiration. So now let's go through the Sims in the house. And let me go. Here we go. Here's Brian Noir, created by the 4th Street Gamer. And he is also creative, and he is a geek. And he is gregarious from choosing a popularity aspiration. His aspiration is actually the friend of the world aspiration, which of course we can't control him. So if he does anything for that, that's just all on his own. And we have Dawn Broken Brain Wellborn. That's what the BB stands for. Now he loves the outdoors, and he is self-assured, as well as, of course, as I said, they all are insane. And he has essence of flavor from choosing a Master Chef aspiration. Now that's a bit of a worry that I think you're not actually allowed to have any like the fire prevention, the things in the house. So, you know, hopefully we don't have anyone start fires. I find one way around that is to have food in the fridge. They're more likely to eat the food in the fridge if you have food in the fridge. So that might be something we need to get Emily to do right away. So, and then we have Kenny Stratton and some of our Sims. He's on the computer. What is he doing there? He's playing Blick Block. Now he loves the outdoors also, and he's a bro, and he is a collector from choosing the freelance botanist aspiration. And he has a backstory. He was created by SimmersLoveLife. He thinks he's battled many wild animals and has won every fight. He also believes that every animal can talk to him. However, in real life, he's just an ordinary guy who loves to fish. Fishing is one of his favorite activities, and if he doesn't fish for a day, he'll go crazy and tell theories about aliens and ghosts, which of course we know are in the game. But we'll try and get him to go fishing whenever we can, but there are rules, which I'll go over the rules once we introduce everybody, about there's only certain hours that you're allowed to leave the asylum, except for work. So we will have to see how that goes. We'll do our best with that. Now, Adelynn Pierce, she is loves the outdoors. We got a lot of loves the outdoors here. And she was created by SimmersLoveLife. And she has a nice backstory too. She's a loner, and she is a collector from also having the freelance botanist, which we probably can work on because we'll have a garden and we can do the group and have them garden together. So she might get a little bit of this done, as will Kenny. So we have 2 here. Now, she wasn't always crazy, Adelynn. She was a renowned scientist who was obsessed with plants, and when she found out she could become one, which is quite fitting because the Plant Sim Challenge is going on right now, that's what her research became about. One day, an accident in the lab happened, and some chemicals spilled on her, turning her skin green, which is why she's green. And I should probably, you can see her down there, but I should go find her. Let's see. Oh, she's at the bookcase. So it turned her skin green, and now she's a loner and talks to plants all day, and she never wants to be around anyone. So now the next person we have is Lexi Fritz, who is an alien, and I probably should have her, even though I'm not supposed to control her, I think I will have her go, because they default as an alien. I'm going to have her disguise self. And you can tell she's insane because she's talking to herself. We don't want everybody to know there's actually aliens. Okay, so there she is, disguised. So she is a glutton, she's a dance machine, and she is a quick learner from choosing the Renaissance Sim aspiration. So that one might be a bit difficult for her to do. And she was created by the lovely Vahisha Taknai, and I will put links to people's channels down below in the description. And we'll see how long it takes for us to find out, or for the other housemates to find out, that she's an alien. Next we have Clyde Barrow, and he was created by my good friend Crystal Sims, and he is outgoing, squeamish, and he has the dastardly from choosing a deviance aspiration, that is public enemy. And he thinks he is an infamous gangster from the 1930s, but in reality he's just a sim from San Myshuno. Clyde refuses to wear anything but his favorite blue bunny slippers, there they are, and claims if he takes them off, aliens will be able to read his thoughts. I wonder what he's going to think when he discovers he's living with an alien. And I will put a link down below, as I said, to everybody's channels. Last but not least, we have Arya Thornman, and she aspires to be a painter, but she's evil. Let's see that, so you can see the painter extraordinaire. She is evil, so we have an evil one in our house, hot-headed, and again, of course, insane, and she's a muser because she had the painter extraordinaire aspiration. So we do have an easel, so if she autonomously goes and paints, she might do a little bit of that, but we will see. So we see she has a whim to make an enemy from being evil. And of course, the search for vampire information on a computer, which I don't find they necessarily do on their own. So so the basketball net is already being used by 2 of our Sims, all on their own. I just opened the game and they were already there in these various locations. And you can see I have spider webs and water stains and cracks all over the house, which we will be working on trying to resolve once we earn enough money. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put our money down to 500 simoleons. Back to we can only have 5 bed spots, like I said, and 6 seating for 6, and the 5 skill building items, which, as I said, we have a bar, we have an easel, we have a woodworking bench, we have the piano, the portable piano or the digital keyboard, and we have the basketball hoop. So that's what I chose for my skill items. Not that the basketball hoop is going to help us with getting any aspirations, but like I said, I just thought that might be something that a group of Sims would use, and I could have used a pool instead. And the only reason I didn't choose a pool was because when I have once done this almost 2 years ago for fun, I had Sims die in the pool. They drowned, so which wasn't so good. Now, the other part of the rules that I haven't gone over is that only 2 non-controllable Sims are allowed jobs, but they both must be in the criminal career. And my main Sim, Emily, can have any job she wants, so I will end up having her go into the chef career, or the food career, because that's what she needs to do to be able to complete the food aspirations, but she will take the mixology branch, because that will satisfy both of the aspirations, which is why you can do both of them, because the chef one just requires you to get to level 8 in the food career period and doesn't require you to go the chef route, so that's kind of a nice thing. Now, we can't have any maids or pizza, and this rules I don't think have been updated to reflect the fact that there are now repair people and gardeners in the game, so I would assume that that would also apply to that we can't have any gardeners or repair people come in, but they weren't available when the rules actually came out, and they don't look like they've been updated. And we are allowed to leave the lot to go fishing and collecting between the hours of 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we can only travel to other people's houses and community lots during the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So in our actual area, which there is fishing and collecting, we can be out of our house for a little longer than if we actually, say, want to go to the park or something like that. So if I travel to another lot, I have to bring everyone from the asylum along with me. Now, if anybody dies in the game, of course, if my Sim dies, then the challenge is over. But if anyone else dies in the game, 1 seat must be deleted until there is 1 seat remaining. I thought there was actually, the beds had to be reduced too. Oh, it's not. It's only on the hard setting. I had it. I saw when I played it before, either they've changed the rules or I misread the rules, and I deleted a bed and a seat every time somebody died, because I did have people die. So, and as I did mention in my introduction, that's the first part of the challenge, is the actual asylum challenge, but the second part that I've set is that once she's completed her 3 aspirations, she's going to move into her own little place on the property that will be only allowed for her to access it. And her goal will be, 1, to improve the asylum so that there's bed slots for everybody and chairs and adequate of everything and skill building objects, but she'll have to earn the money to do that. And 2, if anybody happens to die, she needs to figure out how to make ambrosia and essentially ask them back to the household, the ghosts, and give them the ambrosia so that they all get brought back to life. So hopefully they're not too much of a nuisance if anybody dies, because you are allowed, you have to keep the gravestones on your lot, but if they become too much of a nuisance, they do say that you can banish them. But since my goal is to, should anybody die, bring them back to life, I can't banish them, so we'll just have to put up with them. Now, the other thing is, there is get together, and I have the ability to set a club. And I was thinking that I would like to do that, but I just wondered what everybody's thoughts were. And the club was going to be more for them being social with each other. I wasn't going to have it to have the other Sims like cook or clean or repair things, because that is going to be Emily's responsibility, or even to garden. The only way I would garden is to like initiate that by saying gardening together. And I don't need a club for that, but if it's a club, then they'll be all in the group for doing that. So I'll put a poll and let me know whether or not you think I should do the club, because it will help with the skill building in general. And it'll mean I don't have to constantly form groups when I say want to have them go fish together or go garden together, because I will be using that feature. And then the other thing is, like I said, I am allowed to have 2 people, 2 Sims go in the criminal career. And I figure since Clyde is a public enemy, and also because he thought that he was a criminal, that he should be one of the ones who joins the criminal career. And then Dawn had, from Dawn's art, had said, oh, he'd like his to go into the criminal career. So I think our 2 Sims that are going to go into the criminal career are Dawn and Clyde. So I'm going to just trigger all of that right now, but I think that's it for this intro. Next week we will actually start with gameplay. But I just wanted to go over the rules and introduce everybody in a bit more detail than I did during the I mentioned them all in my Asylum build, but I didn't go into their backstories or anything, and I wanted to just provide that, especially for the ones who created like quite the elaborate backstories for them. So let me see. So Emily needs to start her job. Looks like someone's gonna be mean. I don't know if she's being mean or if he's being mean. Chat with Clyde, but find a job. We will have her start her job right away, and then we will have Clyde start his job, and we will say Dawn to start his job. Find a job. Where did you go, Emily? You're supposed to be finding a job. Okay, so now we have Dawn up, and we are going to put him in the criminal career. Now, if I do start a club, I will leave the 2 that are working out of the club to start with, but as we get points, we will add the other 2 into the club if we do the club route. Now, we are on Emily, so we don't want her to be a criminal. We want her to go into culinary. She's going to be an assistant dishwasher. She's going to make a whole 15 simoleons an hour. And she has Tuesdays and Thursdays off. And she works 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. Might be hard to get a bed. And Clyde is a criminal. And he works 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to start with, Monday to Friday. As would be the same for Dawn. They would have the same hours. So there we go. And if I did do the club, I was going to add be friendly, be funny, and let me know if you could add be romantic, you could add possibly be mean, but maybe they already have a hard enough life as it is that we maybe shouldn't add that right at the beginning, but perhaps later. And she needs to prepare some mix food and drinks, so we're going to have her go cloud gaze. And she will actually do this in the next part. We'll just start it right now and put her in the master chef, because she has to cook 2 meals while inspired and make 5 of them excellent. But that's it. They're all moving around a lot, taking advantage of the few things there are. It's funny how they're actually using the basketball net like nowhere near it. I noticed the ball not so close to it. Oh, we got some. So, but that's it for this part. Let me know what you think about using a club. I will put a poll for you to choose on that, and we will see you next week where we will actually start with the challenge. Thanks again. Bye. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. If you like the video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks very much.